Welcome back, everybody. I'm Canadian Moose Plays, and this is Cities Skylines 2 Early Access Part 3, the final part. We all heckin' made it. So excited to bring this to all of you, but I want to kick it off by saying a huge thank you to Colossal Order and Paradox for giving me the opportunity to showcase this game to all of you. It's been such a cool experience having early access to this. It's so different than my normal playstyle as well, which has been a really fun and unique challenge that I've quite enjoyed. So just a huge thank you to them. In this episode, I'm going to try and cover as much as I can from the thread that I shared in the community tab, asking what everybody would like to see from this video. So I tried my best. There's some stuff that I missed and some stuff that I wish I included that I thought about later, but overall I'm really happy with this video and really happy with the stuff that we do cover in it. So let's dive in. We're kicking off with some paths here and kind of showcase how they connect. They're not a Cities Skylines 1 path. They're not a path that you just place and draw over things, and they kind of connect because pedestrians use them. Here, they're an actual network. That means that they interact with other networks and things in the game. That does include rail. You can draw a pedestrian path over train tracks and get a pedestrian crossing, which is really heckin' cool. We're going to place one of the small plazas here, and this is just a beautiful, gorgeous park. I think they did so heckin' well with the assets. Now, I know with this being the final part that a lot of people are going to be asking things or wanting to hear, I guess not asking, but people will probably want to hear my thoughts and my feedback, my experience with the game. And I'll cover that a lot in the live play. That becomes kind of the focal point of the live play, so stick around to the end if you want to hear my thoughts on it, my takeaway, and my experience. I will share little tidbits throughout the time-lapse here as well, but if you're really looking to hear my thoughts, that will be in the live play. Likewise, I encourage you all to stick around to the end as we showcase some cool things. So I've had a lot of comments, and I've seen that other creators have as well too, about traffic in this game, and I go over that at the end of the time lapse, so stick around for that. Likewise, we do deal with airports, which is really cool, and air traffic, and I've found a cool asset that I think will work for all of us smaller builders out there, or people that are interested in doing small cities. I found something that's going to be really cool. There's also a poll going in my community tab right now on what project you'd like to see in Cities Skylines 2, my first series, and it looks like a Vancouver-Toronto project is winning massively. And I know a lot of people have asked for Montreal. You will see Montreal in the future, but it's going to require some assets to get the look the way I want. We got cool row homes, but definitely bike infrastructure. I need bikes. As soon as Cities Skylines 2, if they do, which I'm sure they will, but when we get bikes, assuming that they're working on it, a lot of projects will be able to be done properly. A Vancouver project, we have awesome bike infrastructure here. I'll be able to do a Dutch series again, a lot of things that will have to go on hiatus. I'll be able to properly do, when that stuff comes out. So we're coming in here and just zoning out the area. Got a lot of office demand that I wanted to solve there and kind of showcase the assets as well. I try to showcase a lot of the stuff here, and I don't want to spoil anything, but a keen eye maybe in the intro there might have seen that the city looks a little bit bigger than, it did last episode, and you'll see why coming up here. We're going to bulldoze all the parks that we placed down last episode that I wanted to showcase, but then I had to cut the footage, and, the video editing woes. We'll remove those, but we got to keep that cool playground. I think that playground is a part of the elementary school asset. That's the add-on there. But you get this really cool basketball court, which is an add-on or an improved version of the vanilla basketball court. Now, we talk about feedback, and I am making this episode one where I share my thoughts, my experience, and my feedback. That's going to be the focus on this. If you want to see what's going on screen, you'll see that. I'll try my best to also talk about sometimes when cool stuff has happened on screen, but I am going to use this time here talking with all of you to share my experience and my feedback. And the one thing that I see lacking so far, now I gotta preface this is an early build, it is beta. I know a lot of people are gonna look at it and be like, this came out on the 11th, it's still early. You would be surprised how much stuff can be done, from a development standpoint, the final month of a game, right? Even the final weeks, the week leading up to it, right? So there's still lots to come, I imagine. but I don't see any animations on any of the assets like you do with Cities Skylines 1, which is a bit unfortunate because that's something that I was really, really excited about to see what they could do with the animations. You know, in Cities Skylines 1, you get all these assets, you know, a basketball court that has animations. Heck, even the community pool has animations of people swimming on it. And that's something I haven't seen, which it would be cool to see that, because I always thought while Cities Skylines 1, I never felt connected to my city or ever felt like the city was alive. Little things like that did help to make me feel connected to the city. Now, this game already as a base does so much heckin' better at making you feel connected to the city. They have done so much work on the AI and the... Well, I guess the AI would be the biggest thing, but making the city feel alive, the way that people interact, the realism of it. And I'm addicted to it. I love it so heckin' much because when I go to play Cities Skylines 1 now, I find myself missing that from Cities 2, being like, this is cool. This is really pretty. It's really realistic. I find it so much more visually realistic than Cities Skylines 2. But it's just lacking something that's just really addictive. You know, that connection that you get in Cities Skylines 2 here. So we're going to draw out the grid. I had somebody ask about sprawling suburbs. Likewise, the best way to get traffic is to sprawl. Since we're using a pretty poor way of connecting the highway to our city, I'm hoping that this will get us bad traffic to showcase that, yes, traffic fixes do need to be done. Biffa still has a job fixing traffic. But that it is something that does occur because, again, a lot of people in the comments keep asking, I don't see traffic. There's no traffic. What's going on with traffic? And yeah, I kind of try to showcase that here, that there is. I'm sure other creators probably have as well. The bigger the city, the more traffic. We had a smaller population city, so it was harder. That's why we're drawing out the grid here to get people moving into the city. So we're going to connect the roads up here, make it so that they do have a connection point. And again, I'm not going for beauty here. I think it looks nice and cool at the end, but let me tell you, I cannot wait to bring you all my first ever Cities Skylines 2 series where we can take it slow, spend time, you know, unlock all, get the city the way I want it to look like. You know, Smiley's might release, 300 Vancouver buildings, you know, which would be nice if you happen to be listening, Smiley's. Likewise, any Dutch creators out there gonna need about 300, canal homes from Alkmaar, Utrecht, places like that. That'd be cool. And yeah. So we're going to connect the roads here, continue that on, and then I think everybody knows what's going to come from this. Also, it's kind of interesting doing the commentary over this with it not being too, I use Adobe Premiere, so I speed it up by 200% all my footage in Premiere for regular episodes. And it's interesting seeing it in real time. I'm really happy that I did this approach. I did get some comments of people saying that they were really happy that I did this as well. So that's awesome. I did get some comments saying you should have just sped it up. To that I say, go check out my other videos. Because I am glad that I didn't speed it up and kept it at, at a regular speed here to show you what it's like playing this game in real time. So we're going to connect those roads there, and then we've got one more pocket grid to connect. Also, this right here, what you're seeing on screen, this is water. And you might be asking yourself, why is there water there? What's going on? There was a lake under there that I hid in one of the episodes when I was planning this, or like pre-episode planning. It wasn't done on camera. And the water's coming back for a vengeance. You think that you can get rid of a lake? No, not happening. This game says heckin' no. Hopefully there is a way to get rid of that though, because I'd like to, customize maps and make them fit my build. But I guess that's the way of map makers, being able to be like, respect the topography, because the water will come back to get you. Connecting the roads here again. That's pretty much it. That's this chapter here on our journey through the final part, right, is all about road connections. But it's about to get a whole heck ton of fun, because look at that, baby. Zone. Suburbs. You all asked for sprawl. Well, one person asked for sprawl, and they're getting it. But you all asked for sprawl. Now you're getting it. So we're going to cover all of this in the hopes that this will generate a lot of traffic, because I do agree with the comments. Now, if you look at the population before zoning, we're at 902 currently. It's going up. 902 though. So that is obviously going to factor into why you're not seeing a ton of traffic in my city. But I do think overall, my experience, because there's other builds that I've done off camera aside from this build, because we've had early access to it, we can play it as much as we want, right? And I do think, I don't know, traffic seems interesting. I kind of like it. It feels a lot more realistic with the way it goes. On screen here, air. There we go. I've got points. So I unlock air. We're going to unlock large sports parks because they're really cool. We're going to unlock the welfare office because that's a cool building. And we're going to unlock, I think, university. Yeah, there it is. University. And maybe a recycling center? Yeah, recycling center. Nice. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice move. We did do it. And then I believe we unlock one more from telecommunications. No, water treatment. I'm wrong. Water treatment. But I think there is some telecommunications. I think there is. No road stuff. We're good on that. Yeah, post sorting. Oh, telecom tower. There we go. And post sorting. There it is. So that's our unlock tree. Now, I really, really enjoyed that unlock tree. It's something that I personally, if I'm doing an unlock all build, fair, that wouldn't factor in. But I would love the ability to, like, I don't know, I feel like I want to use it more because the fact that it doesn't rely on population, that to me is an absolute game changer. It makes me actually want to play the game because I can still build a city the size and scale that I want. Like you can do a small city because it's not population based and still make decent progression unlocking stuff. We're going to place the water treatment plant here next to the rails and our beautiful little industrial lot there as well. Another gorgeous building, and that's something that I think they've done so well in this game. Everything looks so heckin' pretty. Like, oh my god, like look at that building. And then look at this cool add-on, a little tetrapods there. And feel free to pause the video at any point if you want to see more. I tried to hover, because we're doing this in regular speed, I try to hover over the building add-ons in this episode so you can get a little glimpse on it. So just pause the video, check it out if you want to learn more about that. But there's also the great guides that they have put up as well, too. So we changed up the zoning on some of these buildings to get higher density, and there's a look at high-density residential. That thing is huge. That thing is heckin' huge, and I love it, though. Like, look at how beautiful it is. Man, I cannot wait to see what assets and mods are for this game. I cannot heckin' wait to see what that looks like. So we're going to come in here. The demand for industrial and office throughout this episode is so high. High density is going to be our goal. I want to get the high density offices unlocked, and that's at small city there. So we're only, 2 points off. So that's super, super exciting. I want to get that sort of unlocked as well. But yeah, so we're gonna let the residential zone there, zone it out. But I want to try and get some of the stuff sorted, things like landfill and airport. And I believe we're gonna do airport here first. So I'm gonna scope out the land, see what is suitable for an airport and where we could place it. There's quite a few options, and since you can buy tiles separately, it gives you kind of an idea of where, where should I put this? Like, where can I put stuff? Because you can just unlock wherever you want. Like, what's really cool is you could, now, I should preface this. If you're unlocking tiles that are separate, because what I did think would be cool is what if you unlock a tile separate and put a landfill there, right? And then that's your landfill area as you zone out. You can start to plan out farther in advance how your city's going to look, because I do find a lot of the assets are just too big for us small city builders, and they're much more suited to, bigger cities. But that being said, if you're using a highway, you will have to provide services because the highways don't transfer water or sewage. So water, sewage, or electricity. That's regular roads, non-highways. So non-highway roads will transfer that. So that is something to keep in mind. So I decided to make a community here based around the airport and where we're going to place it. So we've got our regular, main street there with the commercial, some suburbs behind it. Beautiful water tower, because I cannot get enough of that asset. It looks so good. Got to place some sewage, so I want to place it in a spot where it's not going to be as visible because, shitty water is not the nicest to look, the poop water, you know? So I connect up the sewage pipe there so that they'll have that, but we also got to provide power, right? We need to provide the people with their services. But I think I go for, yeah, the small coal power plant, right? Yeah. Because I figure this is an airport. There might be more industrial stuff around here. So where can I fit that coal power plant in? Now, one thing to consider with placing industrial stuff and stuff that pollutes is right here. Look at where your air flow is. Where is wind blowing, right? And wherever that's blowing, you want the building on the opposite side of that, right? You don't want this pollution blowing into your suburbs because they will complain. They're not going to like it. And I think that's a really cool thing to the game. Like, again, there's just these, man, there's these things that just make it feel so much more alive, so much more real. Also, Rock Music Mansion, let's heckin' go. But, yeah, I don't know. It makes me feel like I think about the things I'm doing a lot more in this than I ever have in Cities Skylines 1. It's just something that I just don't think twice about things that I find myself thinking about in Cities Skylines 2. And I think that is really, really, really cool. And, yeah, just everything's super cool. I love the game. Okay, it does need some work for sure. There's definitely some sussiness, but I really, really am enjoying the game. I feel like, I know some people might be like, oh man, he's selling out, or, you know, look at this Colossal Order fanboy. But what can I say, man? We're allowed to share our thoughts, right? We're allowed to share our honest feedback on the game. They're not restricting what we can and can't say in regards to our experience. And my experience has been awesome. I'm so grateful to have early access. I really enjoy the game, and I think you all are going to be in for a heckin' amazing time when you get your hands on the game as well. So we're going to provide services. So that there, the coal power plant provides the electricity to the city. So we now have electricity for our city, which is awesome. But we are also going to provide a fire hall. But it gets even heckin' cooler because I'm going to make another district. So you remember that we made a district for the downtown, right? We're going to make a district here, and you're going to see something that just ties back into this feeling of the game is alive, the city's alive, decisions matter. Everything is important that you do. You have to think about everything and consider so much more stuff, and I love it. I love it. So we're going to draw the line out over here, connect up our district. So there's the district, a Brightwater Junction, which will house the airport. Look at the fire hall, though. We're going to select this, select operating districts, select Brightwater Junction, and now the fire hall will only respond to stuff in Brightwater Junction. How cool is that? How heckin' cool is that? I think that is, oh my gosh, it's just so cool. It's so cool, man. It's an awesome feature. And I believe there was like mods for that. I think they were broken. I never tried it out in Cities Skylines 1. But think about the console players. Again, yes, console did get delayed. It's super sucky, I know. But when you guys get your hands on this game, it's a huge win for console players. And so this is just like, oh man, that's such a cool feature that they added there. So we're going to connect the roads and get some more suburbs going here. And then we're going to provide this with services. And then it's time for everybody's favorite airports. Also, somebody is, it's not too distracting, but somebody outside of my apartment right now is cooking something and it smells delicious. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that they didn't invite me over because it smells heckin' delicious. Anyways, back to the game. It's a beautiful Sunday here, too, in Vancouver. Like, it's gorgeous outside. Beautiful heckin' weather. We've had an awesome weekend here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. But aside from the point, not to make people jealous, it's awesome weather here. I love it. Love the city I live in. Brightwater Junction. There's the police, so... The police station, we added that to the operating district and then gave them a clinic and added that to the operating district. So again, police, fire, ambulance, they're only going to respond to stuff. The stations that we placed here are only going to respond to calls in this district. And I'm blown away, man. That is insanely cool. Like, insanely heckin' cool. Man, I love it. I love that idea. So we're going to zone out the suburbs here, and I got a little bit reckless with the zoning there that caused, you know, that zone to yeet itself. And I also left space here too, which I forgot to come back and do it. But I always leave space for alleyway roads, yet I never find myself using them. It's something I need to use, you know, more of here. Also, in case anybody was wondering too, you might have seen during that, I just wanted to keep an emphasis on the Brightwater Junction, the districts that we were making, but you might have seen the colors change suddenly there. This is winter, so we've entered the winter season. Each season has its own sort of, well, if you remember from Cities Skylines 1, LUT, color correction, and for those wondering, the way that the game looks changes per season. It's an interesting idea. I'm torn. I'm torn because I do like some of it, but I do think some of it is a bit too harsh and I wish players had more control over it. But overall, I think the atmosphere that they create is a lot more realistic. If you look at this, it does feel a lot more like how winter feels. So I do think overall it's a W, but I would like to see more control where we can fine-tune these in the future. But overall, most of it is. It's just really gray and gloomy, and I'm like, oh man. You know, when I was recording this, I was like, damn, this is really, you know, gray and gloomy and depressing. And then I'm like, well, you know, if it's not a crazy sunny day in winter, is that not what it's just like in winter? And at least where I live, that's what it's like just in winter. So GG to them because they did nail that. So still trying to make enough flat space there to place the airport. We're going to come in and just touch up the edges there so we can get this HECKEN airport in and showcase you all some planes because we get it up and working. So you will see airplanes in this as well, and you will see it all function, which is really, really cool. Again, thank you to everybody who supported the videos here. We've had some of the highest viewed videos I've ever done, and it's mind-blowing to me. I'm so heckin' grateful for the support. You have no idea how much it means to me, all of you stopping by and checking out the video. I really appreciate every single one of you that's watching the video. So we're going to come in here. There's the airport. We got to connect it with a road. But I did the sewage first, but, like, the road would have... Like, I think it would have been fine. Or maybe not. No, because it would have needed... Yeah, no, maybe this was the right way. I know, I feel like there was a... it's fine. It's fine. It all works in the end. Again, we're using another level crossing here for the roads, which is not good for traffic. And that's exactly why I'm doing it, because I saw a lot of people asking about traffic. I'm trying to give you all traffic. I'm going to come in with a avenue road here. Or not an avenue road, a foreign laner there to support a little bit more traffic by the airport. But this is the asset that I think works best for small town cities. If you look at small town cities, you know, take a look at our Rural Canada A series, for example. We reference the Okanagan as being inspiration for that series. And you look at cities like Kamloops and Kelowna. And I really do think that, yeah, this asset, honestly, it seemed a bit big at first, but it grew on me. And I think it's the perfect asset for small cities. Like, I think it's a beautiful asset, too. The way, like, holy heck, it looks good. Like, it looks awesome. And I'm not a huge airport nerd, so the fact that I can just place an asset again that looks this good, I kind of prefer this, if I'm being honest. I'm not big on creating custom airports. It's cool. It was a cool DLC for Cities Skylines 1, but I'm much more a fan of this. You know, the less I have to detail and create, the better, honestly. And that's coming from a hardcore detailer, right? So now we're trying out the line tool, and I'll be honest, I remember the step diary, but like vaguely. So I try my best to get an angle that'll look nice-ish, you know, like trying to get angles that look good there. And then you draw out this line tool to connect them to the outside connections. That gets you planes coming into your airport. So this is something additional that you didn't have to do in Cities 1 that you do have to do here, drawing these routes that the planes connect to it, which is really, really cool. But I do like how they've done the planes. Like you see those little dots with people flying around. Like those are planes, right? Which is really cool. It seems like it's a lot easier to see that stuff as well. So we get our connection points drawn there. We see a plane coming, so hopefully they'll spawn and come in. Spoiler warning, the planes work. It's super cool. I love it. Maybe not the best, like, I could have probably lined this airport up better. Some of the angles might take you straight into a mountain, but it's fine. It's all good. But also, I forgot to formally welcome you all to winter. So here it is. Welcome to winter. It's -3. It's December. It's blindingly bright. And that's winter, you know? So welcome into winter in Cities Skylines 2. Gonna draw out the roads here, and now I'm gonna showcase something that I had a question about recently. Luckily, I got the comment just in time to see it and include it in this episode because it's something that had slipped my mind that I didn't even think about showing off. Everything that I experiment with here, paths, roads, and trains, have rendered tunnels. That's right. You don't need a workshop asset. And if you're a console player, what a W. But everything that I tried out here, so roads, trains, and pedestrian paths. That's right. And pedestrian paths have rendered tunnels. Look at that. And obviously we haven't stretched it all the way out. It doesn't connect through, but this is just meant to showcase it to you and be like, here they are. They exist in the game. How cool is that? I think that's awesome. Like, I think that is, oh man, like, heck yes. I want to go out onto my balcony and just scream for joy, you know? That's how excited I am for rendered tunnels. And just to showcase it here as well, trains do have the rendered tunnels as well. So you take a look at that. The cables go down in there as well. Look at that, eh? Isn't that cool? Man, that's... Y'all are... I cannot wait for everybody watching this video to get their hands on Cities Skylines 2. You all are going to really, really enjoy it, man. It's a cool game. It's a cool heckin' game. I've had a great time playing it. I know I'd be surprised if I don't get people flaming me in the comments being like, God, dude, you sound like such a cringy fanboy. But dude, I'll say it. I'm a Colossal Order fanboy, man. I heckin' love Colossal Order. I think they're an awesome group to work with. Working with them in this has been one of the best experiences in my content creation journey. And yeah, they're awesome. they made an amazing game. They made your favorite game, Cities Skylines 1. Have faith in Cities Skylines 2. And I feel like that should be my biggest takeaway, because I've seen a lot of negativity, recently. And obviously, yeah, it sucks with the console delay. They made Cities Skylines 1 your favorite game. So Cities Skylines 2 is going to be a banger. But what the heck was this? What timing, eh? What timing? Listen, there's still some sussiness. Some planes doing some weird things. But the game is really good. It's really good. It's got good bones. There's like, it's got good bones. What perfect timing for those two planes, my goodness. But yeah, there's a plane taking off into the sky. Here's a plane landing. We got it to work. Planes. So for those that were asking about transit and wanted to see airports, there it is, functioning. And again, I think it's a great asset for small towns. I think it's I really, when I first played, I was like, ooh, the size. But then I started thinking, and I went to Google Maps, as I usually do, to look at, I think it's YKA in Kamloops. I hope I got that correct. My mom used to work there at YKA for WestJet. But anyways, I looked at the Kamloops airport and I figured that this size was actually pretty decent for the airport. So it's not, not bad at all. There's our other little small community over there. Things are looking well. Also, you see that disconnected sign? That just means it's not connected to power lines, like the big transmission ones, but it does still have power in it. Now, I'm going to unlock 3 tiles there because I thought what would be cool, because I did see a comment about, oh, you should connect some trains. So we will do buses as well. So don't worry, buses are coming in this episode. But I did think it would be really cool to give this small town of Brightwater Junction their own train station. So we're going to dive into that next here and get a train station for the city. So placing down the asset there. The hard part is going to be the terrain, because you get a lot of hills here. And I guess another, talk about, this is a feedback heavy episode. And one of my big pieces of feedback is I wish I didn't feel like I needed an anarchy mod as much in a sequel to Cities Skylines 1. And for those that don't know what that is, it's a mod that allows you to place networks without it complaining, like you're going to see here. So it basically removes that complaint and allows you to connect networks in ways that you normally wouldn't be able to in Cities Skylines 1. And it does look like we'll need it here. Now, this is a weird hill, and I'm going to delete this and flatten it out anyways, just for the sake that the trains don't look kind of sussy and weird. So we're going to flatten this area out, but it still seems to be a bit sussy with the networks. And especially placing roads near the water to try and get that key look that it comes with, it is quite frustrating. So I would like to see a little bit more freedom with the roads and just kind of allow us to do what we want. I had experimented with an idea of doing a city inspired by Seattle for this instead of a small town. And the reason why I didn't is, now I know that this doesn't exist, to those that are listening from Seattle, I wanted to do something inspired by the Alaskan Way Viaduct and have a city based around that. And unfortunately, it was causing me too much of a headache to try and make that happen. And so I decided against that and went with the small town vibes instead. But even here, after flattening the terrain, it still wouldn't let the connection happen. And I know some people might think, well, maybe it's because the tracks are too close, but they designed this station, right? And I have seen connections, like we do get it to work here eventually. So it is possible. Maybe it was that it didn't want to be on a curve, but either way, I still feel like what I wanted to do initially should have been doable, you know? Again, if an Anarchy mod comes out, that'll fix that, right? Which will be really cool. But it also does lead to a cool connection here where I'm going to let this road, Hawthorne Street, continue all the way up that way. And now we've got the rail station connected. So it's time to heckin' connect it to the tracks and get some trains going and get connections to our train station that we built last episode, which is going to be really exciting. I love these kind of connection points between it. I think the one that I get even more excited for, like, trains are cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm like the most uneducated train nerd. I think trains are super cool. I love placing trains. I don't know anything about trains. But I think I like the buses more. I think I found myself enjoying the connection of the buses more. But overall, the way that transit tools work to draw out lines and the waypoints that you can add, oh my God, it's so much better. I'm just, yeah, it's so exciting. We talked about in our last video, of course, the waypoints are markers where you can guide where the bus goes, but it's not an actual bus stop. And you can do this with trains, and it appears you can do this with every method of transit, except I think I didn't see an option for airplanes when we were doing that. So the other methods you can do that, which is really, really exciting. You know, I forgot to include in the poll, but I guess if it's winning by a massive margin to do a city based off Toronto and Vancouver for our first series in Cities Skylines 2, like our first proper series. So I guess that means I get to work with trams, which will be really cool. Like the Metro of Vancouver with the tram system of Toronto. Oh, heck yeah. That, I'm actually really excited. But again, I'll need 300 assets from Smileys to really capture the look of it, right? So I'm drawing out the rail line here, and we are connecting that outside connection so that this will give us intercity trains, which I did fix, by the way, so you probably have already seen in the video, you know, we're however many, you know, half an hour or so deep into the video, that I did connect up the road to the first small city we made last episode, and I did fix the trains so that they allow intercity. Thank you all for your feedback as well, too. And also, how did I not address in this video? Holy heck and heck, I got absolutely flamed for the snapping. I thought people would, like, it was every comment, dude. It was ridiculous. But I super appreciate the feedback, man. Y'all cracked me up. I was laughing. I'd be at the gym, you know, working out and get a notification on my phone. Hey, you can turn snapping off. I was like, yep, I'm well aware. I even edited a comment, my pinned comment for the video to say, yes, snapping is a thing. Yes, I forgot. I appreciate you all so much. We're creating a really cool community here. Consider joining the Discord if you want to connect further as well, too, and share your screenshots. I love seeing what everybody creates in Cities Skylines 1, and I'm so excited to see what you all build in Cities Skylines 2 as well. But yeah, consider joining the Discord and checking it out there. We have a really cool community, and man, this family that we're building over here on YouTube, I'm so excited. This is so cool. Also, how have I not talked about, I'll be doing a live stream of Rural Canada A. Actually, I might not be live streaming Rural Canada A. I might mix it up for all of you and do something interesting. It wouldn't make sense to do Rural Canada A, but I think I'm going to do something different. But I'll be live streaming as soon as this video wraps up. So that'll be at 10 a.m. PST. That'll be live streaming over on YouTube. So it'll be really cool to see all you and get to know you better. Yeah, that episode where I did of Rural Canada A asking where people lived or were watching from, that was, oh man, I love that stuff. Like the fact that I have viewers from all over the world checking out a series called Rural Canada A, that's so cool, man. I'm so heckin' humbled and grateful for every single person who chooses to take time out of their day to check out the video. That means so much to me. But buses, we're connecting buses. Too easily distracted, so I figured we're gonna utilize this the bus depot there. So I placed down 3 bus stops for the airport connecting each city, right? So each city has its own personal route to the airport. Now, I know some people might be saying, hey, I want to see buses connecting each of the small towns, okay? I hear you. It'll happen right now. We're going to draw the line. Let's connect up some small towns. So I connected the bus stops there, and we're going to drive the bus out down here to connect it into... I forget what this city was named. Downtown, right? The city of Downtown. Well, I guess this would be the city of Strode. Well, it's like the municipality of Strode. But anyways, we're connecting Strode to Grand... I've already forgot the name. Junction, that's Grand. Brightwater Junction. Wow. I miss drinking caffeine in the morning when I'm recording these. Anyways, we're connecting it up there. So there's our first bus route connecting Brightwater Junction to the other city. And I just think it's so cool. I love that stuff that you can have, you know, multiple cities that thrive and have their own services, right? That's the biggest key, is that it's not like you're creating another city that's connected to the main city, and you can absolutely do that. But like, you can come in and create a separate city in its own tiles, its own set of tiles that has its own services. Like, that's pretty heckin' cool, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I'm really excited to explore more of that idea. I think it'd be something cool. Like, imagine if you built a suburb that eventually, like a separate tiled suburb that eventually becomes connected into like your main city, you know, with like downtown sprawl. I think that would be so heckin' cool. So we're going to come in here with the landfill, and I had a lot of people asking about this. Moose, where's the landfill? Moose, we need the landfill. Moose, where is it? I've got you covered. Here's the landfill. Can you smell it? Anyways, that's a landfill. It looks cool. Love it. Love the tool that you use for it. And we're going to add some of the add-ons. Again, I try to hover over the add-ons there so that you can have some time to pause the video if you want and check it out and read up on them and what they do. It's something that I wish I did better in episode 2 that I hope I'm doing better here for all of you in episode 3. Now, I got some comments as well about bulldozing homes. I did it because it reminded me of Cities Skylines once. It was more for like funny, relatable, but abandoned buildings will tell you why they're abandoned and give you solutions to fix them. Here, click on the building, you can learn about it. Education seems to be a big one. Citizens seem to heckin' love, A, they love education, and B, for whatever reason in my city, they love offices. My citizens in this city cannot get enough of offices. They really enjoy it. They love it. They just, you know, I'm not necessarily, I don't love a good office. I love a good generic office looking building, you know, but, yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but offices, they love it. So we're going to zone this out around the school there and provide some suburban homes behind the school. And you saw me go with the building add-on that is my personal favorite, and that is the playground. I think it's a really cool add-on that you can have for the school there. Because it's like, man, of course it's going to have a playground. And then I pair that now. I found a cool little combo that I like to pair together that you'll see in future videos is the basketball court. So I like kind of attaching that in there and pairing it up a little bit. Because, like, I don't know, elementary schools for sure would have a basketball court, right? Let's see, elementary school I went to and the elementary school my sisters went to, they all had basketball courts. And, yeah, I don't know, it just seems like something that would, like, make complete sense. So now we're going to place in the welfare office. And I really, really enjoy this asset. It's kind of like the, I don't know. It's just because it's a generic office building that I just really like how... I don't want to use the word bland. You know, it makes it seem like whoever modeled that. No, they did a great job because it looks so bland and generic. And I love that. That's realistic, man. I think that's really, really cool. So I really like the way that welfare office looks. Cat in a cabin, dry laundry. Those are some wild names, eh? Got a abandoned building here, so you can learn some stuff about it. Fire engine, it's being dispatched. And I'm trying to get better at not bulldozing, and I bulldoze it right away. I'm trying to get better at not bulldozing things starting now. I should have like one of these signs like days since last bulldoze. So anyways, I'm gonna come in here and I really want to unlock the high density offices because I think they'd be cool. We're close. This is the final video. So I'm going to place down the Rock Museum first, and then I'm going to really cheese the system here and show you guys top 10 tricks to cheesing Cities Skylines 2. Number 1. Place a Rock Museum. So we do that. But no, the way to cheese it is placing colleges. So I'm going to grab the college asset here, and I'm going to start to spam it so that I can reach the high density office level. So I'm going to draw it out here. Or do I place... Actually, hold on. I might be getting ahead of myself. We might not be cheesing things yet because I think we actually place a university here instead. I'm getting too ahead of myself, you know? We're going to clear out these roads here and place down a beautiful university asset there. Try to line it up as best I can, but this is a really cool building. Again, I do think some of the building's footprints are hefty, and they make sense for certain styles of cities. Big cities, of course, it makes sense for. But, I don't know, for smaller towns, because you have the ability to do it. Again, because if you're playing vanilla without unlock all, the progression system allows you to build a city you want because it's not population based. That I think it would have been cool to see smaller versions and bigger versions of the buildings. Because a lot of them do feel really big. Scale-wise, so that would have been cooler to see. But here we are, cheesing the system. So we got Great Town. We did it. With Great Town, you get loan limit, high-density businesses for both North American and European. The loan limit being plus 800,000 to your loan. We're going to bulldoze this. We're one step away from the one that unlocks insane office buildings that I wanted to showcase. They definitely don't fit the small town rural theme, you know, like... You wouldn't see a building like this out in Saskatoon, eh? And you sure as heck wouldn't see it down in Regina. But, you know, let's show it off, right? So I'm going to spam down the colleges here, and we're going to cheese the system. I kind of feel like if anybody's ever seen the show Trailer Park Boys, a Canadian classic, I feel like when Bubble says, "Oh, that's greasy," That's what plays in my head when I'm cheesing the system that way to get us to future milestones. Oh, that's greasy. I can't do a Bubbles voice, but, you know, just picture Bubbles saying that's greasy because it does feel greasy. But anyways, let's get some heckin' high density because the people want offices. We're gonna give them the offices here. Now, again, this is branching way out from the small town theme, but and we're going to mess with, like, kind of the sizes of them there to give you guys a couple different variants, right? It's something that I think I've done pretty well in this series is zoning not everything. Of course, suburbs are different, right? But not zoning everything to be the same. Also, those cranes are massive. Oh, my God, they're so tall. But once again, you can see that it's abandoned and you can see why. And this one actually does come to life. We don't end up bulldozing it because we end up giving it the stuff to make it happier. Now, I had a question about noise pollution, so I'm going to show that off here. Noise pollution is definitely a thing. It doesn't seem to have, at least from my experience, a huge impact like it would in Cities Skylines 1. You can see it here. We're at 7%, and the map legend will give you a breakdown of what's causing pollution in the color scheme for that, from low to high. 7% I don't think is bad considering all the stuff we have jam-packed around the downtown core there. But that's a look at the noise pollution. For those that were interested, again, pause the video, check it out, explore it. It hasn't been something that I've seen impact the city too much negatively. Could it in the future? Absolutely. Currently, just not so much. Here are the buildings, though, that are completed. And they are kind of huge. Which is awesome for our Vancouver-Toronto series. That'll be our first Cities Skylines 2 series. Assuming that Rural Canada A doesn't make one of the biggest comebacks ever in the third period to tie it up and launch overtime, you know, for the Stanley Cup Finals. Assuming that that doesn't happen, because I'm going to leave the poll up for like a week, then it looks like we're doing Toronto-Vancouver. And for those interested, that's in the community tab if you're wondering, what is this Canadian kid talking about? Yeah, so here's some stuff that I just kind of ran out of time to show off for all of you. You know, some of the office stuff and whatnot, or the office stuff. Post office, the postal stuff. But we do get in some telecommunications here. So we're going to place down the tower. And that is just the radio mast, but then we place down the telecommunications tower, Telecom Facilities, and that's internet and stuff like that. And the fact that that's something in the game that you have to consider as well. Now, it reaches out. You can see, everybody's happy down in Strode there, even though the tower's out in Brightwater Junction, but I think that's really cool that that does connect in. And here's one of the trains. Also, did you see that? The bus used the parking lot of a building to turn around in. How freaking cool is that? Like, everything interacts with everything. I love this game. I love this game, and I'm so excited for all of you to get your hands on it. Oh, there's just so many, like, there's bugs. There's things I think they need to work on. But gosh dang, this game is so much fun, as is base game. You all are in for a heckin' treat when you get your hands on it. We're so close, everybody. We're so close. October 24th, Christmas. It's coming. So I'm going to place down one of the football fields here because I thought it would look really cool up on the hill. And it showcases what it looks like for all of you there. Look at how gorgeous that is, eh? Oh, beautiful, beautiful asset up on the hill. And I think now we're getting to the point where I'm going to wrap up and head into the live play. But real quickly, we heckin' did it. We got traffic. Look at this. I did a horrible road design here just so that I could showcase to you guys traffic is a thing in this game. I had so many questions about it. Why is there no traffic? Why does nobody show traffic? Why haven't I seen traffic? You know, the list goes on. Traffic is a thing in the game as you grow up the city. It took us getting bigger population and poor road design before we could come in and fix this up. But I'll catch you all in the live play. Here's traffic for all of you that does require road fixes. Catch you all in the live play. Welcome back, everybody, to the live play portion of the video. I wanted to kick this off and just give a huge, huge thank you to all the people who have checked out the content, and Colossal Order and Paradox for giving me early access to this. This was such an exciting series, you know, a fun little 3-part series. So much different than my usual playstyle, but a really fun challenge. And really exciting getting, you know, early access to Cities Skylines 2. It's been so much heckin' fun. And here it is in all its glory, the city of Strode. And some cool suburban communities, you know, that are within the municipality, let's say, of Strode. But here it is, the big, huge one that had rural aspirations and became rather big in its its downtown core rather quickly. Here's the cool train bridge in action. Look at that, eh? Isn't that cool? People walking across the bridge, cars. You love to see it. The city of Strode. I think we're going to wrap up the video. We're going to do two things here. We're going to wrap up the video in this series the same way that we did last time. I'm going to let music play out some beautiful visual cinematics for all of you to experience the game, because I think there's a really cool atmosphere to the game. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, similar to how we did in the last video. But I know a lot of people are probably itching to hear thoughts, right? This is the part 3. We're wrapping it up. We're very close to launch day for PC. And I'm sure people just want to kind of hear, what are my takeaways, right? My takeaways from this. So let's take a look at this beautiful small town that we created in this one with the airport. Get that in the shot. Got a plane about to take off. And I'll share my thoughts with it. I've seen a lot of people online share things, there's a lot of passionate people out there, people that are super excited, cannot wait for the game, people that are cautiously optimistic, which is a great way to approach gaming in 2023, and other people that have written the game off for whatever reasons. So my personal take is wait until you've played the game. I think the game is really awesome. I do think that there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved on, that should be added, things that will need some work and will need some time. And it's hard to compare it to Cities Skylines 1 when I'm a modded player that has access to a workshop that is, 7 years deep now, full of assets and mods that make the playing, the experience for me so much better that Cities Skylines 2 just doesn't have yet. Obviously, no mods or assets. There's a lot of stuff that I did wish that they included, but if we look at the game as is, I would play this game, base game, no mods, no assets, so much longer than I would Cities Skylines 1. I could not handle. I played 1 year on console, and I got so sick of the vanilla. And, here we are, a PC player many years later now. So I personally think the game is so much fun. It feels alive. You feel connected to your citizens, which is something I never feel ever in Cities Skylines 1. And I think the base of this game is going to provide everybody out there, whether you're a console player or a PC player waiting for mods and assets, or a vanilla PC player, it's going to provide you an awesome experience for many, many, many years. And I really do see this game outliving, hypothetically, Cities Skylines 1 because of all the stuff that is rooted in the base game. It's also going to make, for us PC players that play modded, the modding experience and the assets, the capability of them, it just, I can barely even comprehend what people are going to come up with this as the base. So personally, my takeaway, I'm so excited for all of you to get your hands on the game. I really, really enjoy it. There's things that I miss from Cities Skylines 1, but when I play Cities Skylines 1, there's things that I'm like, why wasn't this, more excited for Cities 2? And for me, I want a city that feels alive, that I feel connected to. So I see myself in the future playing more of Cities Skylines 2 than Cities Skylines 1, just for the sole fact of having this connection to your citizens and really feeling like you're a part of this city that you have created. That's my takeaway for it. I'm Canadian Moose Plays. Enjoy the ending cinematics here, and I'll catch you all in another video really soon. Happy building, eh?
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need